Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Monday morning again, the most recent Monday morning of them all. In fact, it's here right now. And here I am out here doing what I've been doing for quite a few of these Mondays, trying to see if I can share a message with you. And ladies and gentlemen, it really blows my mind because I'm one of the worst people I know. I'm one of the worst. I'm not the worst. I'm one of the worst. And at the same time, I know nobody who cares and respects God and God's love for one another than I do. If there were another that I know of, I'd listen to it. I want to see, I want to observe, because I want to take care of the business that God has given. But I haven't seen it anywhere. The only time I've seen it was in the 60s, when Dr. King and Malcolm X were alive. Dr. King talked about the truth, fairness, honor the law. Let me say that again. Dr. Martin Luther King talked about life. He talked about love. He talked about truth under the law. And he dipped and dabbled in it under the moral code as well. Malcolm X basically confronted it from the standpoint of God, Allah. And so that made his message a little bit more resentful than Dr. King. Dr. King's message had a little bit of what the people could say was a little bit of compassion for them. And Malcolm didn't, they said. But what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, as a social scientist and as one who knows God best than anybody that he know of, what I see is this. I have heard it said that the black man is the original man, that black people are the original people, that the black woman is the original mother, the original woman. Now, I can't argue that one way or the other. I do not know. But it appears to me from where I'm standing, be that true or not, the reality of it is that God is being very disrespected by those who have choice. Things that don't have choice, well, how can they? But we who have choice seem to be totally disrespectful for God. Some of us seem like we love God and want to honor God. And some of us seem like we want to be God. Now, how can you tell the difference between the ones who want to honor God and one who want to be God? Well, as God, all humankind are under the authority of God. All humankind. Every last one of them. And so the one that wants to be God needs to have someone under their authority. And so what they do is they relegate a whole section of people as second-class citizens. They represent, my friends, themselves, first-class citizens, the one making this decision. And others have to be second-class, under them. Now, this gives them the authority to feel like they are God. And being God, who have decided to focus all their attention and strategies on reducing the people to a second-class status, they do other things as well. They conjure up all of the resources that God has given as identified to serve the purpose of humankind as far as survival and the creation and maintenance of heaven on earth as their own. And they work the second-class citizens and pay them something called money, which would allow them to struggle, and in time be able to own what God has already given them. That's how the first-class citizenry operates all over the world. Now they're working their tails off for this first-class God who's taken everything from these second-class God. Every law that is made is designed to protect the first-class citizen. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I believe from the bottom of my heart, I have said it before, but as it hits my mind right now, it's clearer than this morning. Usually the sun is shining. This nation and this Constitution of the United States appears to me at this moment in time was designed, this Constitution was designed to do exactly what it's doing. This little loophole, this little jive turkey that's allowing Donald Trump to violate all the Constitution to come in and destroy this nation, and the Congress, who's supposed to have power, can't do anything. The Senate, who is part of the Congress, just allow this stuff to happen. This seems to me exactly as if this was designed from the beginning. This is an effort of the first-class citizen to try to take over the earth and trying to defy everything that God has designed. Now, where is the first-class citizen? Well, in America, the first-class citizen is white. In China, the first-class citizen, I guess, is a Chinese. In Korea, North, the first-class citizen is Korean. In South Korea, the first-class citizen, I don't know who that is. It might be the white man in America. I don't know. In other parts of the world, the first-class citizen is Indian, African, wherever they are. So don't anybody start jumping up thinking that by your race, you exonerated from something. Everybody is a victim and everybody is guilty. And everybody have the opportunity to make another choice. Here's what happened, though. To prove the real God sent the truth back to the earth, because in time people they got no idea what the truth is. And when the real God sent the truth back to the earth, it was sent through the second-class citizen. The second-class citizen. That's how the truth was brought back. At least here, now. And there was no way that the first-class citizen, the new God, was going to listen to a second-class citizen. So why do you think so many black men are being killed? It's not new. It's been happening all the time. The phony God, the fake God knows that the message is being sent by the true God and is coming through the second-class citizen. And like they did in the Bible when they were trying to prevent Moses from being introduced on the earth, if it's true, the story still is genuine. Like they were trying to prevent Jesus from being brought upon the earth. Hey, if the story is true or not, it's relative right now, because they're killing black people for no reason. You say it's because they're black. Yeah, that's part of it. But the other part is because they know. They know all the pandemics. They know what that's about. They know what's going on right now. They know that the nation, America, is going under this situation. It was planned. Donald Trump being president, no accident. All these men who call themselves good men seem to be selling their souls. Why? To survive under what they think the fake God's rule. Ain't that something? Now, what do I mean? While I'm taking this time and you listen on, I might as well give you just a few more clarities. You see, here is the real God. The real God, I can just see it. Can't you imagine it yourself? How many times have you sat alone and you started thinking things that you can do, ideas that flows through your mind about how wonderful this could be, how great that could be if you did this? What if you did it this way? You know how you do yourself, challenge yourself. Can't you imagine someone who could just challenge themselves with a thought? And it could be, all you got to do is speak it. Maybe. I don't know how it does it. But I'm saying, what can you imagine? And all of a sudden, you build you a planet called Earth. Well, we call it Earth. That's how we identify it. And on this particular Earth, you saturated it in such a way that stuff could live on it. Everything can live. All of your creation complements one another. The trees complement the earth, not just in its beauty, but how it is able to play a process in what we breathe. The roots that keeps the earth solid. Don't go running everywhere. The flowers, the water, the minerals in the earth, all of this great God. Now your fake God can't do that. You see, can't no white man do this. Can't no black man do that. Can't no Chinese do that. Can't no Korean, no African, no Indian, no nothing can do that. And then create a man. You, all of you. Create you. All black, white, red, whatever colors you are, don't make no difference. It came from the source, God. Don't, all of you folks, don't worry about whether you came from a black person or not. Don't spend your time wasting about nothing like that. That's immaterial. You came from the source, God. And here you are, created in such a way that each of you have the same kind of structure inside. Because what your shades might be, but the same things that's necessary for that body to survive, every last one of you. Got it. He wasn't prejudiced about that. No. Not at all. And then the requirements for maintaining that body, living, to survive, you know. Some people want to talk about saving your soul, and that might be important. I don't know too much about the soul, but I know a lot about life. And it's important too, at least it is to me. And there are certain things that are essential for your joy of life to make you want to live. So I spend my time talking about wanting to live and let's live. And so here we got all of these basic common essentials for survival. And that great real God sent each of us into this world with a gift, a talent, something that gives us joy in doing. So it's like coming on the stage, like you coming from nowhere to somewhere, and when you come here, you're bringing a gift. You have to take a little bit of time to grow, a little bit of time to develop, but you came to give, you came to serve, you came to be a light, something from yesterday out here today, playing a part in the creative process. Woo, look at here. That's you. Made like that, every last one of you. Every American, the born and the ones, even the one that's dying out. Man, oh man, oh man. And as you engage yourself in that, you are as filled with joy. Why? Because you're somebody. You know who you are, why you are, and you're being just that, what you are. And because all of you are doing that, everybody's happy. Everybody's filled with joy. And you are manifesting from the resources that God has given. Everything you need to survive. But it doesn't stop there. Why? Because you got an imagination. And from that imagination, we have gone from horse and buggies to jets, spaceships, you name it. The ability for me to speak this right here to you right now, and in a few minutes, it can be all over the world. Hey, what? Now, that ability was made by that God, using all that God has made through us to create everything, all of our needs, all of our wants, all of our desires, that would give us food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, a career of our own choosing, all of those other things. And what does that produce here on this heavenly earth? Peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life and the fulfillment of our dreams. And you know what? God made it all and gave us choice. And we chose that. We chose that. You see how wonderful it is? I know that's great. Ladies and gentlemen, right now it's just a story. Why? Because you made the other choice. And that other choice is real too. You made the choice to go for a God you can see. You didn't want that God that is invisible. You wanted a God that you could see. And who was the God that you could see? I mean, out of all the people amongst you, who was the one that you could see? That was the one who started lying to you, started deceiving you, started splitting you up. That was the one that even if you didn't bite, if you didn't accept it, would get a gun and kill you. That was the one that you were afraid of. And that was the one you submitted to. And by submitting it to it, you lost your connection with the real God. The real God you lost your connection with. Now you got no courage. That's why when George Floyd was being murdered by evil, that evil God, don't care how well and wonderful you think you are, you stood there, but you could not defend God. You couldn't show any love to that extent. Why? Because you don't know God. The invisible God, you still haven't accepted that invisible God. The evidence is that now in this political season, people out there planning, thinking about how they're going to keep this process continually. Well, rather than change, rather than even get down into it, we're going to see if we can take back the chokeholds. Take a little money from the police department. See if we can send it over there and let the community get involved in it. They'll think they are doing something, and things will go right on as it has for the past 400 years. Second-class citizens. Well, that's because you didn't get the truth. You're trying your best to hide from the truth. And what I'm telling you right now is the absolute truth. We are in the pit of hell, going deeper and deeper every day. But God, I'm telling you, loves you. In the midst of that love, made it possible for you to be getting this truth right here that I'm telling you today. I'm telling you this today. It is absolutely the truth. Now, this is Judgment Day. That's why you're getting this truth like this. For this, I guess I was born, because there have been a lot of times that I'm supposed to be dead, but miracles occurred to keep me alive. Now, I'm walking around here wondering now because I've been thinking I should have been dead from age 18. And I'm still here. And I see that this message that I'm sharing with you right now, is there another American anywhere sharing a message like this with you? If it is, everybody must be boycotting him, just like they're boycotting me. As you notice, if you look back and see how many views I have, what was it, 3, 4? You might have seen 12, but that's about it. It doesn't go any higher than that too often, because people are not primed to want to know this. People are primed to want to maintain the status quo. And anything that is not of the status quo is a threat. But it is a threat. It's a threat to the anti-God. It's a threat to that fake God. It's a threat to that first-class citizen that wants to keep you as a second-class citizen. Now, knowing this truth, knowing what I've just shared with you, seeing how wonderful life can be for you, if you still got an opportunity to make that choice. You got a presidential election coming up. But in the midst of this, that's not what you're being primed to do. Let me tell you, most of you think that Donald Trump is evil and the Republican Party is very, very evil. And that is absolutely the truth. That is no doubt. That is absolutely the truth. But I'm going to show you how the devil works. Donald Trump and that group, all those people, even the church folk, all of that is set up there before you, so it make you doubt and make you trust anything except the truth. And this evil that they have pulled upon and before you is the same evil that all dictators pull. That's how they get into power. It's to see where you're at. But now, if you're dumb, I'm going to tell you, you're dumb. That's why Donald Trump is president. But if you're too dumb to see what he's doing, then you'll vote him back in. And you can forget it then. But if you're just a little smart, and outsmart that program of Donald Trump and what he's being used for, if you're just a little bit too smart for that, you're not that dumb yet, and you won't exercise your smart, and you vote to get rid of Donald Trump and put in the the Democratic Party, Joe Biden. And you thinking, yeah, you got Donald Trump out. And what do you think the evil God is thinking? You think the evil God is somewhere with his head down? No, the evil God is somewhere celebrating. They popping champagne bottles. Why? Because you thought you were smart and you were too ignorant to see God. You could have had the world as it was given to you in the beginning of time, but you chose not to wake up. The world saw the pressures being forced by that first-class citizen on that second-class citizen, taking his life. Whole world suffers. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that the powers that be does it to them. And no matter how you cry out, no matter what happens, you still got some knee on your neck. Still got some knee on your neck. And now the exposure comes to let you know that the world shares this. And if you can come together, if you can unify, you can defeat this monkey overnight. All you got to do is stand up. Stand up and represent what's good. Stand up and represent the best that can be, at least as you know it. Stand up and be a representation of that wonderfulness that everybody say they want to be about. And if you're doing that, my friend, if you're doing that, then you will defeat by enlightening, by exposing that which is crooked, by being a revelation of that which can be, and not only that, but an example to make it actually manifest. Whew. But their plan is to get you to vote. If you kick Donald Trump, get this Democrat, and everything is same old, same old. But if you wake up, you stop and say, no more, no more. There's no way in earth that I know a God that did not make me a second-class citizen. There's no way that I can know a God that made me who I am, treats me as he wants me to treat others, and demand that others treat me. There's no way that I can be familiar with this kind of stuff and then bound to some ideology that denies me all the good things of life. No, I can't do it. So as a child of God, when Barack Obama and everybody thought was going to be that big savior, a lot of people didn't care if he was a savior or not. He was a black man that got a chance to be president. In fact, my wife, I don't know if my kids did, voted for Barack Obama. Well, it wasn't that she was against the program that I just shared with you. She just knew that you didn't give a stink about that program. And here was an opportunity for something that had to be a miracle. A black man as president of the United States. So this is what they went and perhaps voted for. I wasn't in the booth with her, but she might have voted for me, I don't know. But me, I don't care if it was but one man on the face of the earth. It could be 8 billion folks on earth. And everybody could want something else. I mean, I can't change nothing like that, but you know what I would vote for? I would vote exactly for what I just said. Because the strength, my friends, to make this be, God has done God's part. To make this be is not my duty. It's the duty of all of us. We all have been prepared to participate in the process. And we must all have available to us that outlet to participate. We will never grow short. We will never be denied. We will never have to go through any struggles. But it got to be that way. And the only way that can be is trusting the power that we can't see. And since we trust the power that we can't see, then we allow ourselves to be who we are. Because now we're trusting in God. Nobody making laws telling us we can do this and we can do that. Nobody's making laws trying to put us in jail and beating us side the head if we don't listen to their godness. No, ain't nobody having any of that stuff to us. That's the fake God. The one who's going to force you. You say, I'm hungry. He say, starve. And you say, well, I'm going to stand up and not going to starve anymore. And he beats you with a stick and say, starve. And if you still say, I'm not going to take it, and he'll shoot you because you won't starve. Ain't that something? Now, ladies and gentlemen, tell me something. How in the world can you be laughing, trying to make your home look good, making sure that your car and all that stuff is in order, working so hard, making loans, going into debt, trying to live a certain standard before your friends? You know, the Joneses. Or the grass is green over there and not over here. How can that stuff happen, ladies and gentlemen, when the grass is green everywhere, or can be green everywhere, and if it's not, it's because you poisoned it too much. So just get back off the poison. It is our job, it is our duty, it is our responsibility, my friend, to do these kinds of things to one another. And I know that's a long time, so what? Man, that's almost 30 minutes. I'm going to have to let you go now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for listening to this long. So that means I must have really had it going on. And if I did, it's because I'm telling you what the sun, look at, I wish you could see it right now. It's trying its best to break through the clouds. That exemplifies what this truth is trying its best to break its way through the darkness that has been engulfed your minds based upon the education that have come from this fake God to deny you the truth. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.